If the government were to come out and say, oh, there's hollow earth and there's a whole bunch of lizards and shit and giant insects that live in there, some people would believe them. Obviously, I'm not a hollow earther. I'm more of a vertical earther. You know, if I had to believe in everything, I believe the earth is vertical. Everything you're seeing, you're kind of seeing on a screen. You know, that's called perception. All right, what else? What's next? Okay. Going through the toward meteor stream. Every now and then you're going to have a meteor hit. You know, that's just the way shit goes. Nice toward meteor stream. Every now and then you get hit. You just have to reset everything. Let's see what happens over here. Nice, expensive. This is the rich area. You can tell by the buildings. This was my college area. Let's have a robot. A robot is gonna come down and destroy all the rich people. You gotta have some fun. You gotta have some fun in this game. It's not all about building and like, you know, making the money and making sure everything has an equilibrium. Sometimes you just gotta destroy shit, you know? That's what I like about Shiva. On one hand, he has a drum that beats life into existence, and in the other hand, he's holding fire, and that's to destroy shit. And then in his other hand, he's like praying or whatever to acknowledge the spiritual aspect, the divineness. That's all the dude did. Usually walks around and destroys a lot more. Oh well. We'll just keep meteor striking the rich people. Because no matter your economic class, rich, poor, middle, no one's going to be safe from the meteor hits. I mean, the government has all these underground bunkers and shit, but you know, how fun is it going to be to hide in a bunker when everything that you knew of gets completely destroyed by meteors? Your McDonald's, your Walmarts, your Gucci, everything gets destroyed. Your Capitol building. I wonder if I can destroy the Capitol. Oh yeah, you can destroy the Capitol. Nice. So the Capitol's gone. All of our precious monuments are going to be gone. You know, it would behoove the government to actually have aliens come down or giant robots come down to try to kill the Earth and meteors. Because at least if you have some sort of entity or some sort of like other species that tries to attack us, we can like, you know, we can get our will together as a human species to fight it. You know, there's positives there. But more than likely, aliens wouldn't destroy us. No. More than likely, I mean, if aliens did come down, it wouldn't be like, oh, let's kill all of humans. It would be like, you know, let's integrate, use humans to some level, and then, you know, like work with them. I mean, if you're like some sort of higher advanced species that was able to contact, you know, contact another world before humans were able to contact another world, then you must have some level of equanimity, you know, some level of like, you know, understanding that we all work together in this universe. And like Shiva, you know, I mean, if you're going to destroy shit, you got to build it back up. I mean, this game would be no fun if I couldn't build this city back up. You know, I probably wouldn't be destroying it like I am now. Look at this college, all these students, 3,400 students. They're like, "Oh, we gotta make an idea to stop all the destruction. We gotta make an idea. Oh. And then the meteor comes down and destroys all of the information, all of the history we have. And we have to start all over. See what an earthquake can do. I wonder if earthquakes can take these buildings down. I don't think they can. Yeah, these buildings are like earthquake proof. Nope, never mind. Hey, I'm half Japanese. What's going on? I thought Shiva sits in Samadhi while Kali destroys everything. Yeah, I mean, that's a story for sure. But that's not to say that Shiva can't pull out some of the tricks, some of the powers that he has, and destroy stuff too. I heard an interesting question this morning of a young devotee saying, "How do I, honor Shiva? How do I live as a devotee of Shiva? What am I supposed to do? I don't know anything about him. I just think he's a badass." And, it's like there's a lot of answers to that question. You can do a lot of things to worship different deities or whatever. But I think ultimately, whatever deity you pick to worship or devote yourself to is going to be someone you can relate to. So, like, for whatever reason, this person was, they found something in Shiva that they were drawn to, power, whatever, and um, and so they like pick that one because there's like so many different ones. And I think there's something inside of all of us that kind of draws to certain things. And if you're drawn to a spiritual deity, then that means that there's a part of you that has that deity, or that is that deity. And so I think the best way you can really devote yourself to any god is to learn about it, but also embrace it as something that's a part of you. You are these things that you find interest in, that you go towards, that you're drawn to. I mean, why would you be drawn to it? It's because it's you. You're interested in learning about yourself. So, like, my devotion to Shiva is more embodying his symbolism, understanding why it is, why it is like he looks the way he does or whatever and acts the way he does. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's kind of how I act. I can see that in me. And then you just like, you just, do whatever. You worship it, or you just have respect for it because it's such an accurate symbol of something higher than yourself, but also of yourself. Anyway. They say that Callie is like ugly or whatever. I think Callie's kind of hot, I think Callie's kind of hot. But I'm kind of weird. What else? I mean, this is going to take forever. So many natural disasters have to occur to really take out a civilization, Oh, Jesus, is lizard going to pop up again somewhere? I think the lizard's my least favorite because it takes so damn long. The zombies take a long time, and they only attack during the night. But at least you can like watch them fight against your police department. That's fun. Because you can zoom in really freaking close in this game. I think that's pretty dope. Zoom in really close and you can kind of see what these people are doing. You can slow it down. Sometimes you can watch the zombies fight the cops, and each one of these people have a story. Got fired from the medium wealth job, So it's like you can track these people all the way to their home, to their job. You can just keep following them if you want. I thought that was cool. Anyway, it's like we're kind of starting backwards on the tutorial, showing you guys how to destroy things before I tell you how to make them. But, alright, I think I'm done with this shit. Now we're just gonna, like, go hard with the destruction. If Callie is the mother of all living beings, why does she kill some of them? She's killing her kids, right? Well, killing her kids. Shiva's a bad bitch, you know? I don't know. I mean, I'm not an expert in Hinduism. You know what I mean? Like, you tell me a story, I'll tell you my take on it. That's kind of how I operate. But I mean, if Callie is the mother of all living beings and she's like, destroying shit. Well, to my understanding is Callie, when she's destroying shit, she kind of went bloodlust, you know? Like, she unleashed the beast because, what the hell is going on here? Why can't I destroy this road? That's weird. Oh, because it's on fire. Okay. Yeah, I got a lot of shit on fire. I might not be able to destroy everything as fast as I want. So yeah, I mean, she unleashes the beast when it's properly due, you know? I mean, some kids are just bad kids, some kids need to die, you know? I don't really believe that. I mean, I don't think killing people is the answer most of the time, you know? But then also it's like, what's your story? Um, is your story that all children are malevolent? You know, like, are all children innocent? If that's the story, then yeah, it's bad to kill kids. You shouldn't be killing kids. I think ultimately that's why Shiva came back down uh, and and stopped her, and was like, "Yo, take a look at me. Are you gonna kill me? I love you. Are you gonna kill me?" And what does killing evil and protecting innocent mean? Well, again, this is the story, right? You have to make up a story in your mind for these things to exist. So that's the thing about coming to realization is like when you do come into realization, you realize that all of these stories are just stories, that you can't have good without evil. Everything good and everything evil is pretty much the same thing, because without one or the other, you don't have a reference point, right? You don't know if everything is good. If there is no evil, then there is no good. Everything just is. And so, from your perspective, if you're seeing evil, then somewhere in your memory or your experience, there's some sort of good. And so, really, you're not experiencing evil. What you're experiencing is a yin and a yang. You're experiencing this relationship or a dance that's going on between concepts that play off of each other, and you can do that all day once you become self-realized. You're like, man, woman, they're the same thing, because if there were only men, then, there wouldn't be any men, right? And that's the beauty about being human. Like, the beauty about being human is we're able to live on, like, a dimension and a half. We can it's like a fractal. The fractals are 1.5 dimensions. People are 2.5 dimensions or 3.5 dimensions. People are enough to see things in 4D, which is like a zoomed out, it's like a zoomed out perspective where you're seeing the yin and the yang and not just the yin or the yang, you know? It's like in the yin and the yang symbol, the black has a dot of the white, and the white has a dot of the black. And that's to pay respect for the thing that creates its own existence. They both exist, but they aren't the same, although I get needing one in order to understand the other. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they both exist, right? Because they exist on a level where you can understand them in a dual level. And they both come together to create the one. Like, you're just seeing a part of the dance of the one when you're talking about dual relationships. So, like, I mean, I pretty much already explained it. I don't know how much more I can say on the topic. There are some key words that I don't really like. Like, there's this thing going around the internet. It's like non-dualism, or people are enlightened, or all whatever. All right, I think pretty much everyone's dead. People are trying to get in like ants. They're like, "Where's the city? Where's all my jobs? How do I do this?" All right, the first thing I'm going to do is actually clean up some of this ground pollution because as I'll show you, there's some pollution here from all the destruction that was made. And a cheap and easy way to clean up ground pollution so you don't have to use these expensive ground scrubbers is just to create trees. So you plant trees. Now I'm going to be banging the drum of Shiva and bring forth new life. Yeah, the ground pollution is actually from the meteors that hit. You can see like the places where the meteors hit here. So you just create some trees. The trees will soak up the pollution. And that way my people won't get sick once I start building. I had like a circular road system, which I thought was cool, but I'm kind of over that now. I think now I'm going to do more of a linear city, a very communistic city, something that like China would do. Let's see if I can't. See, it's hard to visualize right in the beginning what you want to do. When you don't have 135 million simoleons to play with, you usually don't want to start off with these big roads because they cost a lot of money. You usually want to just build up gradually. But fuck it. Alright, so let's do a little bit of this. I don't know. I kind of like this linear thing that's going on right now. Let's see how this works. Kali is sometimes referred to as the Dark Mother. I'm guessing Shiva is the light, yin and yang. The dark represents the feminine, the light is the masculine. What's my take? Well, I mean, there's an explanation for this. Again, I'm not a religious scholar. I don't have all these stories memorized. But, like Game of Thrones, like something I noticed in kind of middle of the seasons is that when these guys, these kings and whatever they're called, the Starks and all this, they started getting killed. Like everyone pretty much got killed pretty bad once they fall in love. Once they devoted themselves to a woman and chose a woman over like their duty, then they started to die. This is the wind. So typically what you want to do is have pollution buildings downwind of your people buildings so that they don't get air polluted. So like, I mean, there's different choices you make in life. You can choose duty, you can choose love, and every choice you make has a sacrifice to it. And if you make the wrong choice, you can die, you know? And I'm not saying like every time you choose love, you die, but you're really risking a lot. you know. I don't know. I mean, someone else has a better explanation on this that I would probably agree with. I mean, women are pretty cool, you know, but it's like, yeah, I mean, you got to sacrifice a lot in your own life if you're going to be devoted to a woman, you know. Like most women want to just settle down, they don't want to keep, you know, going out trying to find guys and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You can ask whatever questions you want, half Japanese. Ask me whatever you want. I mean, what do you think? I mean, we have the good and the bad in all of us. You know what I mean? But I'm not some Hindu. I mean, you have to let me know. It's not my belief system that women are dark beings, you know? Um, but, you can look at shit any way you want. You can look at men and the the amount of destruction and masculine, like totalitarian evil that's been going on decades through this country. Like we took over Native Americans. That was men genocide. You said when guys choose women, they die. Not all the time, but you know, there are sacrifices. In Game of Thrones, a lot of them did. Like what was the Stark, the guy that was good at war? I can't remember these people's names. But anyways, he died. The Red Wedding, you know. Um, what the hell else? Like, I don't know. Go and rewatch it and see if you can see what I'm seeing. All right, we're gonna do some of this stuff here. These are some industrial sites. This is a very communistic city I'm making. It's just going to be about production and and that. Let's see. Oh shit, I gotta connect. Oh no, these are all connected. Okay. Right. You mentioned sacrifices. What's to get gained? To be gained. Nothing can be gained without sacrifice. You know? Like if you think about just the nature, oh shit. I don't want to build anything on this road actually. Just think about the nature of our existence. God damn it, again. You know, nature of our existence is dual. I'll use another trigger word again. Um, Meaning like you can't have one without the other. And you can't have it all, you know? So you're going to have to make some decisions in your life, you know? Like what experience do you want to have? Do you want an experience of family, of, however you were raised? Do you want a novel experience? You're focusing on the sacrifices, which seem negative, but maybe focusing on the gains will make it seem more positive. Of course. Perspective. Knowledge. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, all right, we're going to do some more factories here. Um, let's see, I'm going to build another road up top. Okay. All right, here we go. Boom. Now people, maybe I should do something else. We need some cops, right? We need some popos. We'll do cops. We'll do hospitals. Over here. And we'll do a fire department. Yeah, we need to do fire department right here. Perfect. All right. Sacrifice is interesting. So, like, an interesting perspective on sacrifice would be first, you know, those who understand sacrifice understand a certain aspect, a certain truth of life. And that truth is that things go in waves, right? That we do live in a, a reality which would be good things happen and bad things happen. And then after bad things happen, good things happen, and after bad things, good things, bad things, good things. And so it's like this oscillating between good and bad. And, you know, like gamblers see this a lot. They call it luck or bad luck or ruts, you know, and you get on a hot streak. Um, what that is like, think of a wave, you know, I mean, you can go as far down in that pit, more than likely you're going to go super high up. And so, like, you know, when people, things are going good for people, you know, like let's say you're a farmer, things are going good, your crops are growing, the rain season's right, you know, your cows are healthy. You're like, shit, things are going fucking great. Like, I'm having a good time. And, you know, and then, you know, then it stops raining and all your crops dry out. Maybe like you get mad cow disease and they all start like, you know, dying and you starve and your family starves, you know? And then like in a couple years after this is over, the rains start coming again, you grow new crops, you actually get a new family, you have a bigger family now because you can feed more. And then a whole community surrounds you. You have this big community. It's like it exponentially gets better now. And then war breaks out, you know, and like it ravages your villages, it rapes all your women, all your kids have to fight, and most of them die or lose limbs. They come back with PTSD, they can't farm anymore. You lose everything, and you have to move. But you end up moving to like a really beautiful community that already has everything set up, and, you know, they accept you and all this and that. And then a meteor hits. You know where I'm going with this? Like it's the whole thing is about ups and downs. These extremes, ups and downs. I mean, that was an extreme life. Whoever lived that life, but to have more of a, you know, a balance. What some of these people decided to do, well, they like acknowledge, okay, we see this happening. You know, we've had the stories told to us. We have this understanding of how life works. I'm going to try and make an impact on that, meaning I'm going to make a sacrifice. So when things are going really good, let's bring it down a notch. You know, let's sacrifice an animal, right? Let's take like a percentage of our crops and just get rid of them. You know, sacrifice them to whatever you believe in. Get rid of it. So bring a little bit of the misery, some of the pain into the good when it's happening, whatever's bearable for you. Whatever you can bear, sacrifice that so that when the good times, that wave, it stops being so high and low and it gets more equal. And that's an interesting way of looking at things. It's like, you know, it doesn't scientifically make sense, right? Like you can't say, oh, like physics or whatever, that this is a real thing that happens. Like you can sacrifice your child, you know, and you're going to have like a good season of crops for the next 10 years.